new flag bearer at a time when at a time when this house is supposed to be sitting, and after you have done that, then you come and raise issues about times that we start proceedings. So, Mr. Speaker, let's all keep to the time. When we know that we have sitting starting at 2 p.m., let's all be here at 2 p.m. We can start and then we can withdraw and go and then do other things. When we are needed, we'll be called back into the chamber. But because we are live on television and we have our own television station, Ghanaians are watching. So when we tell them we are starting at 12, they start watching out to see if we'll be there at 12. And so when we delay, it doesn't speak well of us as their leaders. So if you want us to be able to be punctual and then to have all the agenda that we have set for ourselves achieved, then we must, make sure we're in the chamber at the right time. I believe I have responded to all the issues that the Minority Chief Whip has raised. I believe the Minority Leader has no issue to raise. I don't think that he has any issue to raise. I don't believe the Minority Leader has any issue to raise.
Honorable members, the issue of time management is key, and we are going to stick to that in this meeting and thereafter. So I will take it that the statement as presented is adopted. Yes, Minority Leader.
Speaker, with respect, I have one issue, but I was signaling the Majority Leader that our colleague, Professor Nyakun, was on his feet. So I wanted him, if you so recognize him.
I recognize you because of the invitation to treat
very well
by the Majority Leader.
Speaker, he wants to start.
So if you want to add another thing, I will not accept that.
Mr. Speaker, no, I'm saying that I was signaling him that my colleague.
So you have nothing to say?
Mr. Speaker, I do. Because
yes, I'll say it.
Oh, before him? Well, Mr. Speaker, that's fine. Thank you. Mr. Speaker, with respect, we have an important matter which has been pending for several months. Mr. Speaker, you may recall that the Chief of Staff, through a letter, directed that state agencies should terminate employment of Ghanaian youths who were employed after the 2024 elections. Mr. Speaker, we the minority became aware with evidence that there were some excesses in the sense that though the letter was specific that those who were recruited after the 2024 elections, Ghanaian youth who had been employed as far back as 2017 were all dismissed from their lawful employ. Mr. Speaker, the minority filed a motion. The motion was admitted by you. The Majority Leader raised a preliminary objection, which objection was upheld by the First Deputy Speaker. Mr. Speaker, we subsequently filed a motion for review under the rules of this House, which you admitted. Mr. Speaker, this motion was moved by my good self, seconded by my respected colleague from Ofuasia Yirbi, and the Chief Whip from the majority side, Honorable Eche Defiamepo, started the debate for his side. Mr. Speaker, the promise made by the chair was that the following Tuesday, the debate will continue so that you could eventually rule on the matter. Mr. Speaker, unfortunately, because it was a matter that you were the only one to preside, and because of some other intervening matters, we've not been able to take this motion, much as we kept prompting the majority leader to take steps to allow this to be done. Mr. Speaker, several times the motion appeared on the order paper, but we could not take it. Mr. Speaker, this is a matter that affects the livelihood of Ghanaians. Mr. Speaker, per the information we had, we have in excess of 15,000 Ghanaian youths affected by this directive, and they are still at home. In fact, the last time the employment minister was on the floor, he said that he had also received some petitions and he has caused some investigations to be done and he will revert to us. But that does not stop the House from inquiring into the matter just for the sake of good governance. Mr. Speaker, these Ghanaian youths are sitting at home, their wives, their extended family, they themselves. It's been over a year that they are not getting any justice. So, Mr. Speaker, I would humbly plead with the leader of government business to endeavor to include the motion in this report. I raised this at the business committee, and of course I must be fair with him, to him. The understanding was that we would have to engage you so that you give us time to hear, since you are the only person who can sit or preside on this particular motion. So that, Mr. Speaker, you give your ruling for a body, a committee to be set up to investigate this matter, so that the people out there who have been affected by this directive will know that the representatives of the people, Parliament, cares about their interests, and we are always willing to take steps. It's getting to a year. We are in February. The directive came in March 2025. It's far too long. So, Mr. Speaker, that is my very humble prayer on this rising. Thank you so much, sir.
Honorable members, on this matter, I direct that as chairman of the business committee, not leader of government business, but as chairman of the business committee, you cause this matter to be relisted and scheduled for consideration of the House. This thing has gone on since the inception of the Fourth Republic. Anytime there's a change of government, we have people's appointment being terminated, in many cases unlawfully, and they are not even paid. I remember as minority leader in 2001, all the staff of national mobilization were dropped. Nothing was paid. Some directors were dismissed. Some even went to the High Court. Rulings were given. Government did not abide by the rulings. And the lawyers struggled and they could not enforce them. The same happened again in 2009, continued up to date. I mean, we can't keep on this way. We have to improve. So if Parliament has decided to give some guidance as to the way forward, I think it's a good motion that we should create the opportunity for Parliament to have a say. So please take this directive as urgent and make sure that this motion be relisted for the consideration of the House. With this, I just want to inform you that we have Majority Leader.
Yes, Mr. Speaker.
Time management.
Yes, Mr. Speaker.
Yes.
He hasn't given the full facts. The objection that was raised in this House was based on the fact that the matter was pending in court. That was the objection that was raised. And the first Deputy Speaker ruled that to the extent that somebody had gone to seek constitutional enforcement of the rights of those people, it won't be appropriate for us as a Parliament to inquire into the matter. That was the objection. So, Mr. Speaker, these are the facts. These are the facts based on which the objection was taken. So your deputy ruled based on those facts. So if he wants us to relist it and debate it, we'll relist it, we'll debate it. You will consider debate in addition to the basis on which the first deputy, upheld my objection, and then you will take a decision. We have no problem. We're ready, except that when one of the parties has gone to court and the matter is in court, and then you say the parliament should inquire into the same matter. And I said it will prejudice the outcome. And our rules are clear on that. So why don't we wait for them to litigate the matter in court and let us know the outcome? You're talking about some 200, 300. Who are they? Have you brought their list? When you file the motion, did you attach their names? Do you have specific people, specific organizations, and etc.? You just don't get up and then say things without any evidence. Yes, some people who were dismissed raised issues, but the law is there. If you feel you were unfairly dismissed, you can go to court. I know somebody in this chamber who was touting the NDC members, saying that he will see if NDC will be able to use protocol to recruit their party members into the agencies. Yes. And boasting about how they had done that. They had used protocol and they had populated all the agencies with their party boys. And they were waiting to see how the NDC is going to do that. This was public. It wasn't private. This was public.
The videos are all over.
The videos are all over. This is how some of those people got into the agencies. They did not get there on merit. Procedures were not complied with. There was no fairness. This is what happened. And I recall that I was a member of the transition committee. And at the transition committee meeting, we raised the issue.
Majority leader, Speaker, please, I've heard you. We would rather take your first point. And for this second one, you are just speaking in favor of what I said. That is something that we need to look into and then guide future governments. But you raised a first preliminary issue that it was based on the rules of the House, that the first deputy speaker made his place his decision on and gave the directive. First deputy speaker, may you confirm this before I can come to minority leader? Yes.
Right Honorable Speaker, it is very true that I base my decision on the fact that the matter was pending in court. Right Honorable Speaker, one of us, in the person of Vincent Ekwa Asafwa, took the matter to the Supreme Court, and at the time that the application was made, his case was pending before the Supreme Court. So to constitute a committee to investigate whilst the matter is pending squarely before the Supreme Court will offend our rules. So, Right Honorable Speaker, on the basis of that, I ruled and given the appropriate directives.
Honorable Eko Asafwa, or the minority leader, is the case still in court?
Mr. Speaker, with respect, let me, please. Mr. Speaker, with respect, this is a house of rules. The majority leader, through the submissions he made, is trying to throw dust into our eyes. The ruling of the first deputy speaker was challenged under Order 127 of our rules. We attached the ruling and stated the full facts of the case and filed this before you. Mr. Speaker, what the issue is simply that you admitted the grounds of our appeal. You admitted our motion for review. And in fact, we have actually moved our review application. I moved the review application. Honorable Member for Fuasa Yebi seconded the review application, and Honorable Defia Mapo started the debate, had a 25-minute submission at the dispatch box. His boss was not there on his side. So, Mr. Speaker, all we are saying is that let us continue the debate. All this thing that he's saying, there was a ruling, we've moved past that. If a body of first instance makes a determination and a plaintiff in that matter is dissatisfied and appeals it, and a higher authority upholds the grounds of appeal and opens the case up, you don't go back and say that there was a ruling. We've moved past that. We've moved the motion. It's been seconded, and you, the majority, you have submitted strong points in opposing our application. What we, Mr. Speaker, is saying is that let us relist it, because the motion has been pending. We need to continue the debate. Then he makes a determination. That's what Mr. Speaker is saying. But where you are taking us back to, Mr. Speaker, is just to confuse everybody. We've moved past that. We've moved past that. Again, Mr. Speaker, our friends on the other side are not coming from a principled angle. The same argument. Mr. Speaker, we relied, the minority relied on the first deputy speaker's ruling in the matter of Justice Arabe Sabat Tokonu. When the nomination came before this house, our argument was that for the time being, the ruling, which is the precedence in this house, was his ruling, which is if a matter is pending before court, to avoid any injustice, this house must stay its hands. This is what he said. Now, at the time my Lord Bafubwani was nominated, there were pending cases by Justice Tokonu. Two, the issues that can you be tolerant? The issues that my Lord Tokonu was pursuing had to do with her employment, and we felt that, Mr. Speaker, by allowing the vetting, it would have adverse effect on the case before the court, especially so when my Lord Bafubwani was the one to ensure the empaneling. But our friends said no.
Honorable Minority Leader, please let me listen to the first deputy speaker.
Mr. Speaker, is he on a point of order?
I don't know. So let's listen to him.
Mr. Speaker,
let's listen to him first.
Right, Honorable Speaker, before delivering my ruling based on was furnished with a copy of the court process. In the case of Tokonu that he's referring to before the vetting committee, I have no process of the court before me. In the case of Tokonu that he's referring to before the vetting committee, I have no process of the court before me, attesting to the fact that this matter is pending before court. So the two issues are quite different. I made my ruling based on the fact that in raising the objection, the process of the court was finished. And you look at the relief being sought at the Supreme Court, there is no way by which those actions will be pending, those reliefs will be pending before the Supreme Court, yet Parliament will be delving into the matter. So I use the principle of sub judice to make my ruling. And Mr. Speaker, we are speaking in public. We do not uphold grounds of appeal. You uphold appeal or you dismiss the appeal. So there is nothing like upholding grounds of appeal. Mr. Speaker, I base my ruling on the process that was put before me.
Honorable members, please, let's go back and refresh our memories. And when you get the facts right, this house is always there for you. We can come back to discuss this matter. In the meantime, we have to proceed on the business of the day. Because you are raising so many things and now beclouding the initial issue that was raised, and I gave the directive. So let's refresh our memory, because it's been a long time, and I think that some of you are not getting the facts right. The public, they are listening to us, and they are getting more confused. I'm getting confused myself. And so I have to go and read the Hansard, because many of you are not fond of speaking the truth. Well, one of the things I hate in life is to tell lies. I'm being truthful and factual. We can audit the Hansard, and you see that I'm on all fours on this matter. Please, when they want to raise the issue, you say, oh, it's politics. I see politics is about speaking untruths. So please, let's go and refresh our memory on this matter. In the meantime, the business statement as presented is adopted. We have before us some students from some educational institutions visiting us, I believe, for the first time. We have students from the University of Cape Coast. These are students studying international relations, and they are being led by one of their lecturers by name Dr. Solomon Sika Bright. Sika, am I right? Is it Sika? Sika, I think, is about money. And then he's bright. They definitely are coming from Cape Coast North, and there are 66 in number. Honorable members, you can see them just directly opposite me at the public. Minority Leader, I think Winneba is closer to Cape Coast. You don't want to acknowledge the presence of students from the university. Please, on your behalf, I want to welcome them and wish them a fruitful visit to the house. We have our staff that are ready to take you through some of the preliminaries of parliamentary work. So you are welcome, particularly the fact that you are studying international relations. We have a department now having international relations and parliamentary diplomacy. Maybe you may ask and get some guidance from them as to what we do in that direction. Please, you may resume your seats. We have also students from SDA Senior High School. There are 64 in number, coming from Sunyani East constituency, and they are led by the senior house master, Mr. Abraham Owusu. Please, you are also warmly welcome, and take time to learn a few things before you go back. Sunyani is quite far, and make use of your presence here so that the investment that is made in bringing you here will not go to waste. You are welcome. Honorable members, let's move on to the next item. And I want to welcome you before I can open the floodgates for you to have this harmonious exchanges. And so I'll read a short statement to welcome all of you to this meeting. Honorable members, I warmly welcome you to the first meeting of the second session of the 9th Parliament of the 4th Republic of Ghana, which formally commences today, Tuesday, 3rd February 2026, and scheduled to recess on the 27th of March 2026. The House, and indeed the nation, remains deeply grateful to Almighty God for the guidance, protection, and special grace He bestowed upon us. It is God and nothing else that enabled us to successfully conclude the first session of the 9th Parliament. By His providence, we are gathered here today, 1 year into the life of the 9th Parliament, with renewed sense of purpose and commitment to serve our dear nation and its people. Honorable members, it is my hope that the recess afforded you the opportunity to receive feedback from our people, reflect, and to replenish your capabilities for a strenuous and focused business of this second session of the 9th Parliament. Honorable members, during the first session, Parliament made steady progress in the discharge of its constitutional mandate. Notable among our achievements were the orientation of new members, the constitution and operationalization of the committees of the House, and the consideration and passage of bills, constitutional and statutory instruments, as well as other essential parliamentary business. These accomplishments reflect the collective efforts of honorable members, parliamentary leadership, committees, officers of the parliamentary service, and civil society organizations. I want to take this opportunity to commend the leadership and all members and staff for your dedication and hard work. Notwithstanding these achievements, we must also acknowledge with candor the challenges we encountered during the period under review. The first session tested us in many important ways. It tested our endurance and adherence to parliamentary discipline, our tolerance for different views, and our collective commitment to the traditions, customs, and conventions that sustain the democratic culture of Parliament. These trying moments invite us to reflect not merely on events, but on the standards we set for ourselves as custodians of the people's mandate. It is through such reflection that institutions learn lessons, mature, and become stronger. Accordingly, I wish to inform the House that the Speakership, together with leadership of the House, is planning to observe the one-year anniversary of the inception of the 9th Parliament. This event will provide an opportunity for deeper introspection into the operations, conduct, and the lived experiences of the first session of the 9th Parliament, with a view to distilling lessons to guide the work and conduct of business during the second session. The date for this observance and the detailed program outline will be communicated to honorable members and the public in due course. Let me underline, honorable members, that this occasion will be institutionalized at the commencement of each session to serve as a means of taking stock of the conduct and performance of Parliament during the preceding session and to enable us to take measures to guard proceedings in the session that follows. The past year was also marked by moments of deep sorrow and grief for the entire nation. This House was affected. The House lost 3 distinguished colleagues. Honorable Murtala Mohammed, Member of Parliament for Tamal Central, Honorable Ernest Yakumi, Member of Parliament for Akotia, and very recently, Honorable Naza Turi Mahama, Member of Parliament for Ayawaso East. The earlier ones, we observed a minute silence. Today, I'll allow a statement to be made to give us the opportunity to do the same for the latest, that is Honorable Naza Turi Mahama. In the meantime, with your kind permission, may their souls rest in perfect peace in the bosom of the Almighty God. The passing of these patriots is a solemn reminder of the fragility of life and the sacrifices inherent in public service. Their departure therefore calls upon us to uphold compassion, solidarity, mutual support, and love for one another, even as we engage in robust debate to make our lives in this world a better experience. While differences of opinion are natural in every democratic parliament, respect for one another, love and unity of purpose must always hold sway over hatred and bitter partisanship. Honorable members, the second session, and particularly this meeting, presents us with a demanding legislative and oversight agenda. By the provisions of Order 47 of the Standing Orders of Parliament, the Clerk to Parliament is enjoined to send to each member a copy of the agenda of the meeting. This meeting offers us a renewed opportunity to strengthen cooperation, build consensus on matters of national importance, restore and sustain public trust and confidence in Parliament through disciplined, transparent, and accountable conduct. It is my hope that honorable members will rise above partisanship when circumstances require us to do so. We should uphold the dignity of this House and work collectively to advance national development and improve the lives of our people. With these words, I wish all members a peaceful, productive, and purposeful deliberations during this meeting. We have a blessed parliament and a blessed country. Let us cherish and preserve them. I thank you all for your attention. I will now give opportunity to your leaders to also say a few words of welcome to all of you, starting with the minority leader.
Right Honorable Speaker, my dear colleagues, this afternoon we reconvene in this Honorable House to confront uncommon challenges facing our Republic. At home, our people struggle for employment. Abroad, Ghana's voice faints as traditional friends turn their back on us. In such times, Parliament must recall its purpose. We sit not for comfort, but to serve a nation's weary with unmeant promise. Mr. Speaker, before we turn to the nation's business, let me pause, just as you did, to mourn our colleague, Honorable Mahama Tore Nasser, Member of Parliament for Ayawasu East. Now to his grieving family, constituents, and the National Democratic Congress, the NDC, and every member of this august house, I extend deepest condolences on behalf of the minority caucus. May his soul rest in perfect peace. Mr. Speaker, on our part, the minority, our party's delegates have spoken. Through vibrant democracy, our party has chosen His Excellency Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia to lead us into the future. Mr. Speaker, I am happy to say that this morning the caucus extended warmest congratulations to the flag bearer, and we promised to work with him and stand shoulder to shoulder with him to deliver on his vision for our party and for our country come December 2028 elections. Indeed, Mr. Speaker, our conversation with him has energized us. We spoke as family about the formidable task ahead, earning the trust of Ghanaians and returning to power to rebuild and restore Ghana under Dr. Bawumia presidency. Mr. Speaker, let me take this opportunity to say to our distinguished sons of our party, Honorable Kennedy Japan, Honorable Dr. Brian Achampong, Honorable Dr. Yao Osei Educhum, and Engineer Kwabna Ejeye Japan, we offer a brotherly salute. The contest is over, collaboration begins. Mr. Speaker, we as minority are clear that the unity that demands our work in this very chamber requires us to be rigorous. It simply means that collective good of our country and party must be the overriding objective. And we also thank the National Democratic Congress for the statement they issued acknowledging the peaceful election we held. Our flag bearers' first great task and ours start this very hour. The journey to begin 2028 begins with the very first step we take together right now. Mr. Speaker, Ghana is crying out for bold, competent, proven leadership. The current administration, in our view, is failing to manage our economy with transformation in mind, failing to inspire confidence, failing to uphold the dignity of our people. But our duty as minority is not merely to critique. The New Patriotic Party is not just a political option. It is a singular solution Ghana requires. Mr. Speaker, the records will bear us out. We show that for 8 years under President Kufuor and under President Akufo-Addo's leadership, we led Ghana towards transformation until COVID struck. Against all odds, we put Ghana back on the path of recovery. Indeed, the NDC offers much more PR gimmick than proper management. The MPP offers a proven blueprint. History will ask what will build when Ghana needed us most. The solution is here, and the solution is us. Mr. Speaker, it is also with profound joy that we welcome back to this house our honorable colleague, Honorable Matthew Nyindam, Member of Parliament for Pandai, to his rightful place. The Supreme Court has spoken with constitutional authority, validating his election and restoring justice. This is a resounding triumph for democracy itself. We hail the justices for their courage in the face of brazen attempt to stampede them into politically expedient miscarriage of justice. This House has urged institutional restraint, as we did with the bogus processes that, in our view, forced the Chief Justice, Justice Arabe Sabato Kunu, out of office. But our colleagues opposite chose to speed up the process, which we again oppose. Mr. Speaker, let this be our pledge. We shall model maturity, eschewing hasty suspensions that invite chaos. In restraint lies our strength, in haste our humiliation. Outside this chamber, the story is harsher. A nation without two important ministers. It has been months since the tragic helicopter crash took our ministers for defense and environment. Those vital ministries remain without substantive leadership. We demand forthwith that Mr. President nominate these ministers to mount these ministries. It is not enough to have the Minister of Finance with a huge responsibility also taking up the Ministry of Defense. Mr. Speaker, on jobs, last November, 6 young women died in a stampede at Elwak Sports Stadium during recruitment. When a country turns a recruitment gate into graveyard, it is a government that has failed our youth. On food, farmers complain of losses while families struggle with high prices. When food rots in villages, while children sleep hungry in towns, the problem is policy and logistics. Meanwhile, government says that inflation has come down. Our farmers have always carried Ghana on their shoulders with respect to food security in the country. Unfortunately, 2025, farmers were faced with lack of agricultural inputs, fertilizers, certified seeds, and agricultural machinery distributed to farmers were woefully
Honorable Minority Leader, I'm sorry. I have to move to another meeting.
Sure.
So the first Deputy Speaker will take the chair.
Minority Leader, you may continue.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I'll take it again. Our farmers have always carried Ghana on their shoulders with respect to food security in the country. Unfortunately, in 2025, farmers were faced with lack of agricultural inputs, fertilizers, certified seeds, and agricultural machinery distributed to farmers were woefully inadequate. The food glut challenge we witnessed in 2025 must also be properly addressed. Mr. Speaker, we expect the government to ensure that adequate warehouses are provided and that all warehouses that were started by the previous administration must be completed in good time. Mr. Speaker, again, our cocoa farmers are crying for payment. We hereby urge the Ministry of Agric and the Ministry of Finance to take steps to ensure that our hard-working cocoa farmers are paid for all supplies that they make to Cocoa Board. Mr. Speaker, in our country today, gold has turned to ghosts. The hardship is not accident. It is the consequence of choices, including those that threaten our collective wealth as a nation. During the recess, not one but two distinct gold scandals rocked the very foundations of our economy, revealing a pattern of staggering incompetence and catastrophic failure. First, Mr. Speaker, we confronted the missing millions. The IMF published a report and flagged 240 million losses through the third quarter 2025 from Gold for Reserves program. These were not hypothetical risks. These were realized losses, lost to trading shortfalls and questionable fees. This sum is not an abstraction. It is classrooms never built, hospital equipment never procured, farm input never graded. It is the future of our nation sacrificed on the altar of opaque and reckless financial engineering. But this situation did not end with the missing money. It escalated to vanishing gold itself. Official Bank of Ghana data confirms a collapse to so severe that it defies belief. Our gold reserves, which stood at 37.1 tons in September 2025, plunged by nearly 50% to mere 18.6 tons by December. In just 3 months, we witnessed the utter evaporation of prior gains, financial phantom event that has left our national balance sheet dangerously exposed. The connection between these two catastrophes is not incidental. It is a causal and speaks to profound moral failure. On one hand, this government has proven utterly incompetent in combating the scourge of illegal mining. Galamsey prevention and the fight against Galamsey has been abandoned. It has allowed Galamsey to flourish unchecked, devastating our forests, poisoning our rivers, and destroying the livelihood of our farmers. And for what purpose? The evidence suggests a desperate, cynical strategy to source gold from these very destructive channels in a frantic bid to prop up Ghana cedi through these reserve programs. Mr. Speaker, we the minority state without equivocation that this is a policy of national self-sabotage. I repeat, the gold reserve policy that government has introduced, to the extent that government is not taking steps to ensure full enforcement of anti-Galamsey operations, we say for the record that it's a policy of national self-sabotage. We are monetizing the destruction of our environment and the theft of our future to feed failing financial scheme. And as the data now proves, that scheme itself has backfired catastrophically. The gold bought at such great costs to our environment has seemingly vanished, and the money allocated to secure it has evaporated. When gold is turned to ghosts, the ghost that haunts the poor is hunger. When reserves disappear in millions and they vanish, and we are told that they are rather diversifying, the trust of the people dissolves into dust. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, this House has a solemn and non-negotiable duty. We must insist on full, transparent, and immediate accounting. And we thank Mr. Speaker for admitting the motion by the minority to get into this matter. We must demand answers to the questions the nation is asking. Who designed this flawed program? Who authorized the pricing and the fee structure that led to such losses? Who profited from these transactions? And ultimately, who bears responsibility for this double disaster of missing millions and vanishing gold? But as minority, we have some solutions for government. If indeed government believes that this is a policy worth considering, then it must provide for the cost of enforcing this policy, and this must come to Parliament for the people's representatives to interrogate it. If Parliament does not have the courage to follow the gold, to trace every transaction, to demand every document, then we would have lost far more than the money. We would have surrendered our moral compass and betrayed the sacred trust placed in us by the people of Ghana. Mr. Speaker, as we are at management in the country and at home, the world changes without us. The United States announced an indefinite pause in immigrant visa processing for Ghanaians. The message is unmistakable. Ghana has slipped from trusted partner to flag concern. Our foreign ministries, our foreign policy, the inconsistency there too, the adversarial posture has replaced professional diplomacy with domestic theater. When our foreign ministry treats international partners as props for local politics, ordinary Ghanaians become collateral damage. The ultimate answer is not simply to lobby foreign embassies. It is to build Ghana worth staying in. A serious nation does not treat its people as exports. Mr. Speaker, reports show a worrying spike in assault on journalists. A state that cannot protect the pen will soon find it cannot protect the ballot box. Attacks make headlines, then files gather dust while impunity gains confidence. Violence against journalists is an attack on Parliament itself, because it is the media that carries our debate to the people we represent. Mr. Speaker, the minority in this meeting shall pursue vigorous accountability, and this is what we are going to do. Accountability will not just be a slogan, it is going to be our shadow. The minority would formally move for targeted parliamentary inquiries on the following: 1, the helicopter disaster; 2, the Elwak tragedy; 3, the gold reserve losses; 4, the violence against journalists; 5, the abuse associated with bail conditions by certain investigative agencies of state; the US visa ban; and not the least, the unlawful dismissal of Ghanaian youth. We will not accept indefinite delay. Accountability without a calendar is merely public relations. Mr. Speaker, Ghanaian people are tired of speeches and rhetorics of the ruling government. They want their living standard to improve. They are concerned about utility prices. Electricity tariffs have shot up by 27% under this government. To my colleagues in majority, the minority will be firm, but we are ready to be fair. Opposition is not to sabotage. We will demand quality in terms of governance. And to my colleagues in the minority, our strength is in the seriousness we bring to debate. Nations are not rescued by miracles. They are rescued by choices. The choices we make in this meeting will echo in the homes of the jobless, in the heart of the grieving, and in the verdict of history. Let us rise to the occasion and let us demonstrate that we are formidable and that we are not just opposing, but we offer solutions. Mr. Speaker, let me on this note thank colleagues and welcome them back to this chamber and wish all of us a successful deliberation. Thank you so much.
Members, I will accordingly proceed to give the floor to the majority leader for his opening remark.
Honorable colleagues, Right Honorable Speaker, I rise to welcome back from recess colleagues who have converged here to carry out a critical constitutional function. But before I proceed, let me join my colleague, the minority leader, to express the most sincere condolences to all of us on the loss of our colleague, Honorable Naza Toure Mahama, the former Member of Parliament for Ayawaso East in the Greater Accra region. Our colleague was fully with us in the last meeting. And during recess, unfortunately, we lost him. May his soul rest in perfect peace. So, Speaker, let me again join my colleague to congratulate the new Patriotic Party for organizing an internal primary that has produced a flag bearer. I congratulate the former Vice President, Dr. Mahmoudou Bawumia, on his his victory. So, Speaker, I've listened to my colleague, the minority leader, and just to indicate that I paid attention to the results in his constituency. Honorable Kennedy got 644 votes. And Alhaji Bawumia got only 79 votes. In the constituency of the minority leader, Mr. Speaker, given his interest in inquiries, I think this is a matter we must look into. Mr. Speaker, this House reconvenes at a time when the Ghanaian economy has regained stability after a period of severe distress. Mr. Speaker, I just listened to my colleague, the minority leader, speak extensively about the Ghana Gold Board and the loss that is reported to have occurred. Mr. Speaker, what I hear, what is being reported, is that 2.4 billion Ghana cedis, equivalent to 214 million United States dollars, may have been lost. Mr. Speaker, they are not asking the question, what has been gained? I am asking the question, what has been gained? Mr. Speaker, the statistics show that in 2024, gold from artisanal small-scale mining sold to the state was 63.6 tons. In 2024. In 2025, as a result of the activities of the Gold Board, gold sold to the state from artisanal miners jumped to 103 tons. From 63.6 tons to 103 tons, a jump of 39 tons. Mr. Speaker, the value of 1 ton of gold is 96.5 million United States dollars. The value of 1 ton is 96.5 million United States dollars. So 39 tons added by Gold Board gives us 3.8 billion United States dollars. Mr. Speaker, so if we lost 214 million United States dollars and gained 3.8 billion United States dollars, please do the mathematics. Please do the mathematics. Simple mathematics. This is not Fufusu primary school mathematics. Mr. Speaker, there's nothing to investigate. We should be commending the Ghana Gold Board policy for the enormous gain that this republic has made from the implementation of the policy. When this parliament commenced its mandate, the nation faced high inflation, unsustainable debt, scrutiny, and approvals exercised by this House in fulfillment of our constitutional mandate. Right, Honorable Speaker, Parliament is not an appendage of the executive. We are an independent arm of government entrusted by the people of Ghana to approve, amend, reject, and hold the executive to account. In performance this duty, Parliament has acted in the national interest, balancing economic necessity with social. As we begin this new session, our task must now evolve. Economic stabilization, while necessary, is not sufficient. The responsibility before this House is to support legislation and policies that convert stability into growth, growth into jobs, and jobs into improved living standards for our people. Mr. Speaker, this House must also reaffirm its commitment to constructive debate and cooperation. Differences of opinion enrich our democracy, but division must never obstruct national progress. Ghanaians expect solutions, not stalemate. It is also right, Honorable Speaker, that we acknowledge effective democratic Congress because they deserve commendation for the discipline, experience, and clarity with which they have governed during a challenging period of our nation. The progress recorded in restoring confidence, easing economic pressure, and laying the foundations for sustainable growth reflects leadership that has prioritized the national interests. Allow me to present an overview of Ghana's fiscal and macroeconomic performance in 2025, underscoring the key achievements and reforms that have strengthened to 630.2 billion in 2025, representing a 13.3% reduction in just 1 year. Debt as a share of GDP fell significantly from 68.7% to 47.0%, a reduction of 23.7 percentage points in just 1 year, strengthening the country's debt sustainability profile. Real GDP growth remains steady at 4.8%, supported by resilience in key sectors. Inflation remains stable at 8%, aligning with the Bank of Ghana's targets. VAT reforms announced in 2025 are in full implementation in 2026, aiming to ease the cost of doing business and support households. 7 billion Ghana cedis in 2026. We remove and decouple GET Fund and NHIA levies from the VAT base, enabling input tax deductions and lowering business costs by 5%. We abolish VAT on recognizance and prospecting of minerals, reduce the effective VAT rate from 21.9% to 20%, increase the VAT registration threshold from 200,000 to 750,000, and CBG with 1 billion Ghana cedis, strengthening the financial sector, making it stable, supporting credit flows to households and businesses. For the first time since 2007, when the cedi was redenominated, the Ghanaian cedi appreciated by 32% against the United States dollars, marking a historic milestone and reflecting the resilience of our economy and the success of 30 sanitation facilities. Funding will also be provided for textbooks, school furniture, and transport for learners. 6 new regional hospitals will commence construction this year, alongside 2 district hospitals at Bole and Shama, while 10 Agenda 111 hospital projects will be completed. Ongoing projects at La General, Efia and diagnostic and treatment centers will be established across major hospitals through PPPs. Mahama Cares will receive 2.3 billion Ghana cedis, and 9 billion is programmed for NHIS claims. Essential medicines, vaccines, and free primary health care will be ensured in the ensuing year. The government would allocate 500 million Ghana cedis for district housing, including resettlement of Akosombo Dam spillage victims. A major push will also be made for critical infrastructure, including the long-awaited Accra-Kumasi Expressway. Additionally, 200 million is earmarked for mini stadia. 1.1 billion will support LEAP, 401 million for women-owned SMEs through the Women's Development Bank, 170 million for the National Apprenticeship Program, and 169 million for BEC registration, 474 million for nursing trainee allowances, and 292 million for free sanitary pads for girls. The National Theatre in Accra will be rehabilitated, and the second theatre will be developed in Kumasi. 20 million will seed for Creative Arts Fund, and 150 million will support anti-illegal mining operations. 50 million is allocated for fishing nets and outboard motors. These initiatives collectively push 2026 as a year of tangible progress, improving education, healthcare, infrastructure, social protection, and economic opportunities for all Ghanaians. Let me also acknowledge the successful election of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia as flag bearer of the New Patriotic Party. We congratulate him and his party for concluding that internal democratic process. Mr. Speaker, if you observed, my friends on the other side were all in white today to celebrate the victory. I joined them to wear white to celebrate the victory. But the reason why I have worn white to celebrate the victory is because the Bawumia that I know, NDC will beat him anytime in the day. I say I am wearing white to join the MPP in the chamber to celebrate, because the Bawumia that I know, NDC can beat him any day. Right, Honourable Speaker, Ghanaians do not forget. Ghanaians do not forget. This is not a new beginning. It is a repackaging of the same administration, the same economic ideas, and the same record that pushed this nation to the edge. You cannot rewrite recent history, and you cannot rebrand responsibility away. Ghanaians will judge not by new faces or fine words, but by lived experience, credibility, and results. And they lived the experience of a Bawumia as a vice president, and the credibility of MPP and the Bawumia, and the results of the Bawumia economic management. Right, Honourable Speaker, the foundations of recovery have been laid. The responsibility before us now is to consolidate these gains and accelerate Ghana's journey towards sustainable growth and shared prosperity. We will be considering the following sector-related legislation. We will continue with the Ghana Cocoa Board Amendment Bill, the Ghana Investment Promotion Authority Bill, the Ghana Deposit Protection Amendment Bill will all be taken. Mr. Speaker, the Exemptions Amendment Bill will also be taken. There will be an Income Tax Amendment Bill. Then there will be Extractive Industries Fiscal Reforms Bill. We will have a rent bill coming from the Ministry of Works and Housing. And then the riparian buffer zones regulations Mr. Speaker, we will also have legislation from the Ministry of Education to deal with the College of Education, and then also to establish the Ghana Book Development Council. Mr. Speaker, we also will have the Environmental Protection Carbon Market Regulations 2026, the Basic Ionizing Radiation Control Regulations, the Integrated Management Systems Regulations, the Emergency Preparedness and Response Regulations, the Design of Nuclear Installation Regulations, the Review and Amendment of the Biosafety Act. Mr. Speaker, the Energy Ministry will bring new legislative proposals for the Nuclear Power Corporation, that's the Nuclear Power Corporation Bill, the Renewable Energy Authority Bill, and then the Transport Minister will also bring the Road Traffic Amendment Regulations to deal with the issues of discipline among Okada riders. The NPA Act is also going to be revised. There will be a legislation on Ghana Banking Services Agency Bill. Mr. Speaker, we will also have a new comprehensive revision of our minerals and mining legislation in the form of a new minerals and mining bill. The Ghana Geological Survey Authority regulations will come. The minerals and mining regulations will also come. The Wildlife Resources Mining Regulations, the Survey Council Bill will all be presented to us. The Energy Ministry has a lot, including renegotiated power purchase agreements that will be brought to us for us to consider, and other major projects in the sector that we will be required to approve as Parliament. Mr. Speaker, the local government will also bring a local governance university bill, and then we will have a University for Local Governance and Development bill will be brought. We will also have bills from the local government ministry to abolish the Coastal and Middle Belt Development Authorities that we announced the abolition some time ago. Mr. Speaker, they will also bring some amendments to the Land Use and Spatial Planning Act, and the Sports Ministry will bring regulations to actualize the new Sports Fund Act. There will be a bill to establish the National Sports College, Winneba. So the National Sports College, Winneba bill will also come. And there will be regulations to enforce the Anti-Doping Act that was passed some time ago. Tourism Ministry will bring legislation to elevate the Kwame Nkrumah Memorial Park to an authority to ensure that this historic site is preserved and promoted with the dignity it deserves. We will also move to establish the Ghana Bureau of Languages as an authority, so a bill to achieve that will also be brought. Mr. Speaker, we are gathered once again at a time of growing hope and tangible progress across our nation under the leadership of President John Dramani Mahama and his government. We are witnessing a restoration of confidence in our institutions, in our economy, and our shared future. From the market trader to the teacher, the farmer to the student, there is a sense that Ghana is moving forward with purpose. Mr. Speaker, it is obvious that our country is making progress, and this Parliament is going to move forward in terms of approving legislation that will fast-track the progress that is being made. I urge honorable colleagues that this session is a short one. We have just about 8 weeks. I plead with you, let us be punctual, let us sit in the chamber, let all the committees be up and doing. Let's work assiduously to accomplish assignments referred to us as committees. All committee chairmen should do well to deal with all the outstanding referrals. Let's ensure that within the 8 weeks, we achieve as much as is humanly possible. Mr. Speaker, I cannot conclude by also welcoming our friends among the press corps. We will not be able to succeed in this meeting without your support. We will also welcome the parliamentary staff, many of whom, even during the recess, sacrificed precious time to work with certain committees, including the Public Accounts Committee. I know the Security Intelligence Agency committees. I also know that the Constitutional, Legal, and Parliamentary Affairs committees and others were all busy working on bills that were referred to them during the recess. I want to welcome all our staff who have always supported us to succeed as a parliament, and to assure them that we will work together and ensure that this meeting is an action-packed meeting. This meeting is a successful meeting, and this meeting achieves a lot for the people of Ghana. I thank you very much, and I welcome all of you.
Thank you. Thank you, leaders. Yes, Minority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, with respect, my colleague, the Majority Leader, forgot to welcome Honorable Member for Pandai back into the chamber. I wanted to draw his attention.
Honorable Minority Leader, you are completely out of order. Honorable members, let's go to item numbered 4. Message from His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Ghana. Honorable members, it reads, Right Honorable Speaker, absence from Ghana. In accordance with Article 59 of the 1992 Constitution of the Republic of Ghana, I write to formally notify you of my intention to travel to London, United Kingdom, on Sunday, 11th January 2026. I am expected to return to Ghana on Friday, 23rd January 2026. In my absence, the Vice President, Professor Nana Jenupoku Ajimai, shall perform my functions in accordance with Article 68 of the Constitution. Signed, John Dramani Mahama. Addressed to the Right Honorable Speaker, Office of Parliament, Parliament House, Ghana. Honorable members, though the President has returned, the formal communication has been brought to Parliament, and it must be read and captured by the Hansard. Honorable members, we then proceed to take the correction of votes and proceedings and official reports. Honorable members, I have in my hand the vote and proceedings of Friday, 19th December 2025 for correction, page 1, page 2, page 3, page 4, page 5, page 6, page 7, page 8, page 9, page 10, page 11, page 12, page 13, page 14, page 15, page 16, page 17, page 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, page 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, and 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, and 61. Now, members, in the absence of any correction, the vote and proceedings of Friday, 19 December 2025 is hereby adopted as the true record of proceedings. Honourable members, the official report of 18th December 2025 under correction. Honourable members, any correction? Yes. Honourable Roxanne Nelson. Kwame Eche Dapamoko.
Speaker, thank you. Speaker, may I take the House to page 7, column 1, page 7, line 4. That'll be line 4. The comment under my name. The word should be the outstanding matters that were raised. Page 7. The outstanding matters that were raised. Not was raised. And then, again, under the same column, paragraph 5. Again, the comment under my name. Line 5. The Minister for Local Government, Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs may do this on his behalf. May do this on his behalf. Then, Mr. Speaker, page 11, column 1, page 11, paragraph 3. Mr. Speaker, I'm guided. May we then move to item number 10. Mr. Speaker, I believe that will be all. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you very much, Honourable Member. Any further correction? Honourable members, in the absence of any further corrections, the official report of Thursday, 18th December 2025, as corrected, is hereby adopted as the true record of proceedings. Honourable members, let's move to statement. Item numbered 8. Honourable members, I have a statement, more or less a tribute in memory of the late Honourable Nazar Ture Mahama, to be taken by Honourable Jaja. Honourable, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Right Honourable Speaker. Mr. Speaker, with your leave, I read a tribute statement of the late colleague of ours, Honourable Alhaji Nazar Ture Mahama. Mr. Speaker, Honourable Alhaji Nazar Ture Mahama was a distinguished businessman, political leader, devoted family man, and committed servant of the people of Ayawaso East. His life was marked by excellence, humility, discipline, and unwavering dedication to public service. From the boardroom to parliament, and from his constituency to his home, he lived a life of purpose and impact, quietly shaping communities, institutions, and lives far decades. Honorable Toure hails from Kwi, a community in the northern region of Ghana, but was born on Wednesday, 17th March 1965 in Nima 441. He was raised within the rich cultural and moral framework Ghanaian values, hospitality, integrity, leadership, and communal responsibility. These formative influences shaped the strong character that will later define his political and business leadership. Mr. Speaker, Honorable Toure began his basic education at Kanda 1 and 2 Primary School and later proceeded to West African Senior Secondary School, where we call WAS, in Accra. With a strong desire to broaden his horizon, he traveled extensively to Syria, Jordan, and Japan, gaining valuable work experiences that shaped his worldview, discipline, and commitment to service. After years abroad, he returned to Ghana in the year 2000 and soon aligned with the developmental vision of the National Democratic Congress, NDC. In the year 2006, he began active service in the party, earning the trust of members and community leaders through dedication, humility, and hard work. His unwavering commitment to the betterment of his people led to his election to Parliament in the year 2012. He entered into this house in the Safe Parliament 7th January 2013, where he represented his constituency with excellence, the good people of Ayawaso East. He was a devoted Muslim throughout his life, guided by the principle of faith, service, compassion, and humility. Mr. Speaker, Honorable Nasser Toure believed deeply in lifelong learning. Despite his early successes in business and leadership, he continued to invest in his education and professional development with academic institutions like London Center of Management, Zone Investment Ghana, International University of the United States, Center of Energy, Petroleum and Mineral Law and Policy, and in Boston, USA. This academic pursuit laid the foundation for his remarkable competence, particularly in the energy and petroleum sector. Areas that later influenced significantly both in Parliament and in private enterprise. Before enduring his political career, Honorable Nasser Toure distinguished himself as an astute businessman. He was the managing director of the Aminasa Group of Companies, a thriving company he nurtured into a respected national brand. Under his stewardship, the group grew into a multifaceted business empire with a strong community impact. The major companies under the group include Aminasa Oil and Gas Company Limited, Aminasa Mats, Aminasa Construction, Aminasa Forest Bureau, and OTA Forex Bureau. Mr. Speaker, Honorable Toure was more than a managing director. He was a visionary leader who held policy, empowered staff, created employment, supported young entrepreneurs, and demonstrated measurable excellence in Ghana's private sector landscape. His passion for community growth, fairness, and national development led him into politics. He became a dedicated member of the National Democratic Congress, serving his party and constituency with passion and humility. In 2012, he was elected as the Member of Parliament for Ayawaso East constituency in Accra, a passion he held with honorable distinction for 4 consecutive terms, serving until his demise in the year January 2026. Mr. Speaker, during his tenure, Honorable Mahama Toure served on a number of committees, including the Committee on Energy, where he was the vice chairman until he died. Committee on Roads and Transport as a member, House Committee, Private Members Bill and Private Members Motion. He served on the Judicial Committee and many others. Mr. Speaker, he also served on several boards, including the Petroleum Commission and Energy Commission. He was known among his colleagues as the calm, respectful, principled, and thoughtful legislator, one who preferred service to noise and impact to popularity. His contribution in the Energy and Mines Committee were particularly notable, reflecting his deep knowledge in the petroleum regulation, upstream negotiation, and the energy sector management. Honorable Nasser Toure served the people of Ayawaso East with extraordinary dedication. He was fatherly, approachable, generous, and available to all. He provided education support and scholarship, offered job opportunities through his business, and immensely supported community organizations and youth groups. His constituents remember him for the following notable projects: infrastructure and sanitation improvements, roads and traffic upgrades, community facility enhancement, bridge and local links, sanitation and engagement focus, parliamentary roles and influence, health, and many others. Mr. Speaker, behind this public figure was a revered family, a devoted family man. Honorable Mahama was married to his beloved wife, Ajia Amina Adam Maknaza, for over 25 years now. The home was one filled with love, mutual respect, and partnership. He was blessed with a son and a daughter, and again, one adopted daughter. As a father, he was caring, present, loving, and protective. His children remember him as their guide, teacher, provider, and a hero. Honorable Nasser Toure fought his final illness with strength, dignity, and faith. Mr. Speaker, on Saturday, 4th January 2026, after a brief period of sickness, he passed away at the Kolebu Teaching Hospital. His transition marks the end of an era, but his legacy, values, and impact remain deeply entrenched in the hearts of his family, his constituency, his business community, and colleagues over here in Parliament. Honorable Nasser Toure lived a life worth celebrating, a life of service, excellence, humility, a devotion to both God and humanity. He was a pillar of strength, a beacon of leadership, and a blessing to all who encountered him. Mr. Speaker, let me end this with some 2 verses from the Quran. Quran chapter 20, verse 55, saying, Minha halaknakum, wa fiha nu'idukum, wa minha nukhrijukum taratan ukhra. To which, Mr. Speaker, this means from the earth we created you, and into the earth we will return you, and from it, the earth, we will extract you another day. That is Quran chapter 20, verse 55. Mr. Speaker, permit me to quote the last verse, coming from Quran chapter 2, verse 156, which says, Inna lillah wa inna ilayhi raji'un. Inna lillah wa inna ilayhi raji'un. Again, to which, Mr. Speaker, Allah says, indeed, to him Allah will belong, and to him shall we return. With this, Mr. Speaker, let me say, may the Almighty Allah grant our colleague, Honorable Mama Nasser Toure, Jannat al-Firdaus. May the good Lord forgive his shortcomings, and may the good Lord bless his family and all who mourn him. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
honourable members' statement ably made. It is now for comment. I give the floor to Honourable Emmanuel Kwesi Bejra.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to commend my brother, the Deputy Minister for Tourism and Creative Art, Honorable Jaja, for this tribute on behalf of all of us and for our honorable colleague, my immediate past Vice Chair of Energy Committee. Mr. Speaker, the late Honorable Nasaturi Mahama met us in this house. When in the 9th Parliament, I was asked to chair the Energy Committee. He had been a member of Energy Committee, the Vice Chair and Deputy Ranking Member of that committee. Mr. Speaker, when I took over as the Chair of the Energy Committee, with vast experience and knowledge in the energy sector, both petroleum and power sector, I rely heavily on him. Mr. Speaker, the last budget, I was asked to represent Parliament somewhere else. And he, as my Vice Chair, the Vice Chair of the committee, have to take over and perform